And what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Legal Mindset. I'm Andrew Esquire, your host, where we teach you to be your own judge. Guys, wherever you are in the world right now, whether it's morning, noon, or night, I am so happy to be talking to you guys today. Today is awesome because I'm back in Korea. So as you can see, I'm back in the office, right? Here in 1080p with good internet. Actually, it's funny. I came back and it had been raining a lot, so my internet was knocked out this morning. I thought about streaming when I got up, but I had to call the guys to come over and fix it. Like everything in Korea, they're very prompt. They're immediate. They were out within 2 hours of my call. They were in my place fixing my internet, fixed it in 15 minutes, left, no charge whatsoever. Mwah, amazing. Very, very glad to be back. I've had my fried chicken. I am totally fried chickened up. So I am ready to go today. And I am so glad to be back here. So glad to be back in my studio. For those who weren't paying attention, for those who were out there lost, really tuned out, I've been traveling. I've been in the United States for the last 2.5 weeks almost at this point. So finally, I'm back here. Finally, I'm back in Korea. It's good to be back, honestly, because I like doing this show. I love doing this time. And it was difficult to do this time in the United States because, well, it's early as fuck for Americans. But for us that are here abroad, and I see a lot of people from Australia, I see a lot of people from New Zealand here. I see people here from Denmark. This is a great time for you guys. And also for those insomniacs out there. I know it's 3 a.m. It's, throwing out here from Wyoming. Good to see those that are insomniacs. It's definitely not me. Definitely not me. But good to see all you guys in the chat. I know it's a good chat when you guys are mocking me. I'm like, hey, I'll be ready in 5 minutes. And then I realized that I had the wrong camera. So, it's all good in the hood. But we're going to get through it. We're going to have a good one today. We're going to go through a lot today. Honestly, I've wanted to move on to different topics, different cases, but Amber is often the gold mine that keeps on giving. But for this bombshell of an interview, this is possibly what I could call a career-ending moment. This is something that could end her career. Now, it was probably already over, but the interview itself was just absolute garbage. So bad that if anybody decides to go and pick Amber Heard up after this, it's on them. It's on them. The turd is in their bed and they've got to deal with it. But good to see everybody in the chat. I love when you guys tell me where you're from in the beginning, because I'm seeing a lot of different people here in the house. I'm seeing Japan, Taipei, Sweden, Thailand, what's up? Minnesota, what's up? Russia, but not a bot. Brevard County, what's up to my fellow Floridians? What's up? London, South Africa. I know we've got a good number of South Africans, so what's up to you there? Netherlands, Texas, and New Orleans Insomniacs. Hey, listen, no judgment wherever the fuck you are and whatever state you're in, whether you're drunk, whether you're sober, whether you can't sleep, you don't want to sleep, you're just waking up. Everybody's welcome here at the Legal Mindset. So this is going to be my standard time, guys. So going forward, if I'm in Korea, I will be doing Monday through Friday. I will be doing a show at this time. Maybe I'll bump it a little bit earlier, a little bit later. If there's guests, if there's some reason for me to do so, if I'm traveling or I got something going on, got a hot date. But otherwise, I'm going to be doing this one every single day. It's 6 p.m. here in Korea. It's 5 a.m. I know East Coast time, but we're not going on East Coast. So this is the standard time. Now, I want to get into one thing I'm going to be doing because I've been really thinking through this trial. How can I expand my channel? How can I do more content? Well, I am starting a second channel. I will be recording content for that after this. I'll be dropping that as soon as I do. I'll put links in my descriptions and you guys will know. I'll show it on my next stream tomorrow at the same time, same place. But also my locals community. And I want to put that out here. So my locals community, I've been thinking, okay, what do I want to put there? Well, there's a lot of stuff that YouTube doesn't like me to talk about. In fact, there's some topics, and yes, they're political topics. Yes, they're controversial topics, but If I talk about them on YouTube, they are so disincentivized. They will banish my channel to the shadow realms. And I don't want to do that. So instead, I talk about those things on my locals. And there's a reason why I've got that, set up. There's a reason why I've got that community. So what I'm going to do, and I know this is very ambitious, and here's my locals over here, legalmindset.locals.com. So what I'm going to do is I am going to at least 3 times a week. I'm going to try to do it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, do a locals exclusive. Now, it may be a live stream. It may just be a pre-recorded video. I'm debating. Maybe I'll try to do like 1 live stream a week on locals. But I'm going to do at least 1 that's locals exclusive. At least 3 videos that are local exclusives per week, starting from today, now that I'm back in Korea. If I'm abroad or somewhere else, I may have to shake that up. But I want to put some content that I really can't talk about, that the algorithm doesn't like and the mainstream media doesn't like us to talk about. All that stuff will go on my locals. So this channel I want to keep as the kind of leading news items, like the biggest of the big of news items. But there's other topics, things that are controversial, things that perhaps not everybody's interested in, that will go on my locals. So just so you guys know, we're sorting this out, switching things up. But as more people come to this channel, it's giving me the opportunity to grow, which is awesome. So let's jump over here and let's just jump into this clusterfuck. So we're going to do the Amber Heard interview. Now, I know I'm not the first person to do it. I know I'm not the only person to do it. I think Nick Rekieta was probably doing it before this. And some of you may have watched him, and some of you may have watched that, which is awesome. Good for you. I know other content creators have done it. That's fine. They're not me. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do it because I think it is prime content, and we need to chew this up and just make her absolutely banished over this interview. I think it looks so bad that the more we can amplify this message, the more we can destroy Amber Heard. I think by just literally having hundreds of videos, just mocking what she's saying after the jury verdict, it's the nail in the coffin. This is it. This is the thing that can really damn her. It's not the monetary damages. It never was the monetary damages. The enemy of Amber Heard is Amber Heard. It's her own words. And we're going to see as we watch this that she pretty much crucifies herself. She pretty much crucifies herself. By the way, what's up, Mexican Iron Man? Good to see you in the chat, brother. Thanks for helping me get on Midnight's Edge. I really appreciated that. Great collaboration. Speaking of collaborations, for those who don't know, I know there's going to be a lot of people there. I just booked my flight for Anime Matsuri in Houston. So I will officially, I've got everything lined up except for like the badge. I put in a comment to panel. I was like, yo, I'll do a panel on South Korea if you want me to. I need them to get back. I mean, I'll buy a badge if you have to, but usually if you're at a con, you do a panel, you can get in for free. So I will be there for anybody who will attend who's in the United States. I know a lot of people will be there. I know Nick will be there. A lot of other people will be there. I think Tug will be there. I know Yellow Flash. So I'm looking forward to that one. I think that should be a fucking great time. For anybody who wants to come and say hi. And I think Nick offered to sign people's tits. I will double down. I will not only sign tits, I will sign foreheads, I will sign backs, I will sign arms, even a butt cheek, right? If it can be exposed without committing any crimes in the state of Texas, I'm willing to sign it, guys. I'm willing to sign it. Just saying. Committed to my craft. Drew C says, hi from AZ, where it's 2 a.m. Good to see you. Hey, good to see you too. Good to see you too. Literally good to see everybody in the chat. I mean, it's amazing that I can have 1,000 people watching me at 6 p.m. At 6 p.m. No, I will not sign. No, I will not sign anything in the bathroom privately. No, I will not do that. All right. So let's jump into this interview. So this interview was on NBC News. I'm going to be watching the Sky News variant. Of course, I'm going to say this for the copyright cucks out there, because there are tons of them. This is, of course, my commentary on this as an observer of the case, as somebody who watched the case and is giving commentary, particularly the commentary of a lawyer, on this interview in light of the court case. So I'm adding value to it, which makes it fair use. So let's just go ahead and let's jump right into this clusterfuck, because it's a clusterfuck. And remember as we watch this, the key word, and that is projection. Projection. I've said it a lot. I said it a lot, but projection is the key here. Amber Heard is constantly projecting. So remember, things she's saying about Johnny Depp, things she's saying about the jury, the judge, whatever, imply those back onto her, imply those back onto her legal team, imply those back to the jury the way she wanted them to work for her. So just remember that. All of this. So let's kick it off here, guys. We're going to do it. And before we do it, make sure you smash that like button. We got 1,259 of you in the chat. So please smash it real hard. And by the way, we're going to get to OnlyFans after we do the interview.
As you sit here with me now, has it sunk in?
Okay, first of all, I'm not a fucking body language expert. I know a lot of people say body language is bullshit, but even if you think it's kind of bullshit and some of these people that are really into body language are just kind of making shit up, there's some basics that hold true. Looking down in a way, expressing no emotion. She's not crying. She's not shooken up here. She's really empty. This is not somebody who's expressing contrition. That's not somebody who's been hurt, and certainly not a victim here.
How could it? Surreal and difficult, in part, yes. This has been a long time coming.
Do you stand by your testimony and your accusation?
By the way, I don't know the name of the interviewer. If you guys know the name of the interviewer, let me know, because I don't know. I don't fucking watch mainstream media. I don't know the mainstream media at all. So in the chat, if you guys can tell me who's the name of the interviewer, because I don't follow these people, and there's a reason why. I keep my brain pure of it. But if you have been tainted and you happen to know the name of the interviewer, let me know. Okay, someone's saying Savannah Guthrie. So that's her name, Savannah Guthrie. So appreciate that. Savannah Guthrie. Okay. Thank you. So Savannah, right? I think, I have watched this like at least 75% of the way through. And I've seen, everybody else do it multiple times, but Savannah's actually pretty good in this one. She starts by softballing her and then she gets harder. It's kind of like, it's kind of like bed, but we'll get into that later and how she ends up fucking Amber.
Against Johnny Depp about abuse.
Of course, to my dying day, will stand by every word of my testimony.
The real life.
That's unfortunate because what you said was defamation and lies, according to the jury.
Drama of the defamation case between Amber Heard and her ex-husband Johnny Depp captivated millions of people around the world.
Amber Heard just got exposed.
Johnny, you hit me.
We did play. I'm gonna be real quick. We did play this meme live, so I will take credit for this chick right here. I guess Sasan Joves or whatever from TikTok. I did play this one early on, which is pretty hilarious. I don't think they play any of the clips from our channels, like from Tug or Rakeda, or even Emily D. Baker, Bites, or whoever. But it is hilarious that they're playing TikTok fucking memes here, which just shows you how far it's pervaded. If TikTokers are doing it, the same people that are obsessed about all sorts of crazy causes, it's ridiculous.
This is so cringe.
With clips spreading across social media like wildfire.
I think vast majority of this trial was played out on social media. I think.
So how is that possible? So let's start with that. So the trial was played out. Okay, yes, people were watching it, but what Amber is trying to imply here is that the trial went on in the court of public opinion in social media. See, here's the thing. And I've said this before. It is not us that started this, but it's us that will end this. The people who are seeking the truth will win in the end. We are going to win. And when people like Amber Heard get out here and they lie, people are going to catch them in their shit. But what they were counting on, what she was counting on, what Amber Heard was counting on, and the disbelief here in Savannah's face is that people saw what happened at the court. They saw what was pretty much exposed to the world, and they can't be lied to now that we've covered it and we've analyzed it. Before, when it was just the mainstream media and you weren't seeing it directly, you weren't getting commentary on it, you weren't hearing the truth on it, well, then they can kind of make up some bullshit. They can make it sound like she was wronged. But in this case, they can't do that because so many people watch the case. The fact that there's TikToks right now to Camille Vasquez's, objection hearsay is fucking epic. It's epic. And by the way, I'll catch this $20 super chat. Okay, this is what my rule will be during the interview. If you guys send me $20 and up, I'll stop it. Otherwise, I'll get it after. Right, I'll get it after. So, Mark, hey, Andrew, what tops the meme, my dog stepped on a bee, which comical gold is now replaced with a new meme, says the lawyer for the man who can convince the world he had scissors for fingers. Comical platinum. Oh, man. See, my line there, my response, and this comes from the statement that Johnny Depp played someone with scissors for fingers. Honestly, she fucking played a fish. So at a certain point, the floppy fish becomes real. The pleading mackerel truly is Mira. Truly is Mira. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Let's continue here.
That this trial is an example of that gone haywire, gone amok. And the jury is not immune to that.
You think the jury saw it?
How could they not? I think even the most well-intentioned juror, it would have been impossible to avoid this.
Okay, let's be very clear about this bullshit. So there's a difference between seeing a headline and not. And now I know I did catch like 2 seconds of Nick, and Nick said, oh, well, people could avoid it. I avoided it. Well, look, we content creators are not normal human beings. We live, breathe, and shit this case. And we know what to avoid if we want to avoid certain news. So when I want to unplug, I know things I can't open. I know apps I can't open. If I open Twitter, if I was to open TikTok, if I was to open Instagram, if I was to open any social media app, I know I would see some Amber Heard content. Now, here's the point. Now, Nick said, oh, well, I can avoid it. I don't think you can avoid it entirely if you're young. And a lot of those jurors were young. Let's be honest about that. However, there's a difference between seeing a headline or even seeing a story and clicking on it. And to be fair, on Twitter and on a lot of the other platforms, a lot of the stuff that was in the headlines on the side was pro Amber Heard. It took you going down the line. It took you investigating. It took you looking into it to discover that, wait a second, the line, like, Amber Heard's lying here. But the mainstream media in their headlines heavily favored Amber Heard. We covered that. It was a universal thing. That in the beginning, especially in the beginning of the trial, the media was in the tank for Amber Heard. I mean, they were not simping for Johnny. It is only lately that, oh no, the tide has changed. The Murdoch-owned periodicals, which were all for Amber Heard, turned around. It's really weird how that happened. It's almost like they did some polling and decided no matter how much they gaslighted people, they couldn't get them to like Amber Heard, so they went the other way. It's almost like that happened. Kim says, Savannah is a lawyer with experience in DV cases. Won an international award at Georgetown for DV advocacy. She looks disgusted at Amber Heard the whole time. I think she sees through the bullshit. You can tell the disdain in her voice. She's professional, but I don't think she's loving it. But we'll get to that part. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. And honestly, it's great to know her background, that she's got background for that. That's amazing.
People online and crowds outside the courthouse made it clear where they stood.
Okay, well, there's two different issues, right? So Amber conflates two different issues. Crowds outside of the courtroom are different than social media. If you're saying that, okay, they had to have heard the people outside, that's one thing. And we can talk about that. We can talk about establishing a boundary around courthouses. That's a discussion we can have. But remember, we've got to do that for everybody. Here's the thing, is that you would have to do this in all cases. You can't just say these rules apply to one particular case. These rules apply to my case because it's Johnny Depp. No. These rules are going to have to apply to everybody. So if you're saying, okay, we're going to establish a quarter-mile perimeter around any courthouse where people cannot picket on the topics within that courthouse to protect the courthouse, right? Where that's what we're going to do now. It's a quarter-mile perimeter. They got to be backed away. That's for every case. Whether it's this, whether it's a BLM case, whether it's a police shooting case, whether it's anything, it's got to be backed up. Now, that's the problem, is that people want it for one thing. When they believe in the cause, they want the protesters there shouting as loud as they can. But when they don't like it, they want them away. And Amber Heard is like this. I guarantee you, if the fans were in her favor, she would want them there and to be louder. And by the way, we saw this. We saw this at the Rittenhouse case. We saw this at the Potter case. We saw a lot of other cases that we've seen over the last year in the United States. There have been loud, vocal protesters at the courthouses. And honestly, it has created an issue because in many cases, there have been people, including politicians, that have called people to violence. This has been something that I have denounced in the past. Those politicians that are calling for action, calling for violence if we don't get a particular verdict. Yeah, that's not a good thing. And I don't think that anybody can threaten a particular defendant or a judge or a lawyer. If any of that goes on, should be punished. But that's not what we had in this case. What we had is people who were merely there to support Johnny. They were excited for Johnny. It was justice for Johnny. Justice for Johnny. It was not about hurting Amber Heard physically. Nobody here hurt Amber Heard physically. That did not happen. That was never a real, tangible threat.
Every single day I passed for 3, 4, sometimes 6 blocks, city blocks lined with people holding signs saying "Burn the witch," "Death to Amber." After 3.5 weeks,
Okay. Burn the witch. Oh, by the way, Jennifer, yes, I'm a lawyer. You're asking, am I a lawyer? Yes, I'm a lawyer. I work remotely. I live in South Korea, right? But I am a lawyer. I am barred in the state of Florida. Speaking of which, if you like this content, please smash the like button to prevent any charges being filed. Oh, man. So let's continue in the chat here.
I took the stand and saw just a courtroom packed full of Captain Jack Sparrow fans who were.
I love how they say it's specifically Captain Jack Sparrow fans. Like that's the only thing they're supporting him as. They're in there just because they love Pirates of the Caribbean. Now look, I know a lot of people like Pirates of the Caribbean. Shit, I like the original Pirates of the Caribbean. I think a ton of people like Pirates of the Caribbean. The point of the matter is that they're allowed to be there. We have public access to the courts. The fact that she has disdain, Amber Heard has such disdain for the common man and woman, the common person. She has disgust for the common person. She hates normal people. She is the epitome of a Hollywood elitist, the Hollywood elitist. And we'll get to that. Yorick with 20 says, Mr. Mindset, I've been dealing with CA problems leaving the state, stopping me from finding the job. Would you happen to have a need for an AV engineer in building a new YouTube business on fire? Here is +10 for a job interview. Yorick, man, if you actually want to contact me, feel free to send a message to me at andrewesquirelive@gmail.com. My mods can retype that in the chat for you guys, but andrewesquirelive@gmail.com. Feel free to, talk to me if you have actual experience, doing anything, on the tech side. But we might be able to talk about something, or I might just be able to see if I know anybody that can help you out with any potential leads. So yeah, just reach out to me and we can talk behind the scenes. But thank you for that super chat. All right.
Vocal, energized.
Can you put into words how that felt?
This was the most humiliating and horrible thing I've ever been through. I have never felt more removed from my own humanity. I felt less than human.
Let's go back to the day of the verdict. Were you feeling confident?
That's a great question.
That's a stall right there. That right there was a stall. So she didn't know what to say there. She did not know what to say there, so she stalled. That deep breath was 100% a stall. 100% a stall. It's sketchy. It's sketchy as hell. Twee, thank you for the super sticker as well.
I wish I could say yes to that. I want to say yes to you, but it wouldn't be true. Even if you think that I'm lying, you still couldn't tell me, look me in the eye and tell me that you think on social media there's been a fair representation.
Do you find that
Hold
Mr.
on. Let's listen to that one more time real quick.
And tell me that you think on social media there's been a fair representation.
Oh, let me rewind it a little bit more than that even. Right, this is good.
Even if you think that I'm lying.
Okay, when she says that, she raises her pitch, she tightens up. That's because she is lying. She is lying. And social media is not supposed to be fair. Social media has never been fair. Welcome to, and I'm going to say it, guys. I know a lot of people don't like to say it, but I'm going to say it here and I'm going to explain it. But welcome to a man's world in 2022. I'm going to fucking say it. Other people, they're too cucked to say it. I'm going to say it right now. And let me be very clear about why I'm saying this. Welcome to a man's world in 2022. Because when men are the victims, social media is normally not on their side. She is salty here because for once, we saw a woman here who is such a liar and such a deceitful person that social media turned on her. But typically, it is not on the side of dudes. But the truth does get out there. And in this one, the truth got out there and the truth prevailed. The truth won. The truth does not always win in social media. The truth, I believe, wins in the end. I believe the truth always wins, just a matter of what your time scale is. But in this case, social media got it right. Social media doesn't always get it right. I'm going to be very clear about that. Social media is not always right. However, this time, it got it right. It got it right. Not all creators are created equal, right? Not everybody who's out there on social media is automatically telling the truth because they're on social media. But this time, the wide majority of social media got it right because they were just watching the trial. And by watching the trial, they were observing the truth, and they were observing the truth play out before their eyes.
You still couldn't tell me, look me in the eye and tell me that you think on social media there's been a fair representation.
So, and by the way, social media's job is to entertain. And the fact that she was so entertaining is because she was fucking lying. And it was hilarious how she was lying. And honestly, if you know, a lot of boomers, they don't understand the internet. They don't get it. They're too serious. They're too serious, but they understand. And this is the reason why I have a master meme post on my legalmindset.locals.com. It's because it's the internet. We're here to learn, yes, but we're also here for the lulz. We're also here for the memes. We're also here to roast the fuck out of people. That's why we're on the internet, right? We're not on the internet, you know, just to go play safely in our safe space. At least not me.
Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes.
After the 6-week trial, the jury found Heard defamed Depp in a 2018 Washington Post op-ed in which she wrote she was a public figure representing domestic abuse.
So that was defamation, which means this statement is a lie. A jury unanimously decided that this statement is a fucking lie and a malicious lie. This statement is a malicious lie. Let's be very clear about what the verdict meant here. Very clear.
She never mentioned her ex-husband by name. Depp denied the abuse allegations in court. Heard won just one of 3 claims in her countersuit against her ex-husband.
And let's be clear, she didn't win it really against the ex-husband. She won the claim against Adam Waldman, his attorney, who said something which they found to be a lie. But it wasn't about the abuse. It wasn't about the abuse.
That verdict came less than 2 years after a judge ruled against Depp in a similar case in the UK.
It was not a similar fucking case. And this is something that I think a lot of people get pissed about. I'm going to get pissed about it too. I've talked about this ad nauseum. By the way, I sent out an invite to Black Belt Barrister. I told him, my internet was acting up when I was traveling. So I said, look, dude, I know one day during my trip where I had good internet, and I said, I'm happy to do a stream tonight with you or, this week with him. He has not gotten back to me. So I am willing to do a stream with him on the UK a bit more. So if you guys watch him and you like him, go spam him, tell him to collaborate with me. I'm willing to reach out with him. I'll even do a follow-up. I'll say, hey buddy, I'm back. I'll do a follow-up with you. I think this is still a good topic. I'll, to have you on and talk about the UK case. Cause I know he's been covering it. Right. But the cases were not fucking similar. They were not similar at all. It was against a different entity. It was with a judge, not a jury. It was with different rules of evidence. It was with rules of evidence that allowed certain evidence in that is inadmissible in the United States. Let's be very clear. And Amber Heard was not a party to that case. Let's be very clear.
In which he sued a British newspaper that called him a wife beater.
There was another trial, handled it dealt with the same substantive issues that had even more evidence in. In fact,
it did not. That's a lie. Like, once again, she's just fucking lying here. No, not the same substantive issues at all whatsoever.
my evidence was largely kept out. Really important pieces of evidence kept out.
You mean lies and unreliable information? Shit. I think that too much of her bullshit evidence was allowed in the US case. I think the one problem with the US is we got some fucking boomer judges. I'm going to say it. And they don't understand technology at all whatsoever. And they don't understand the fact that people can fuck with data, can fuck with images and videos very, very easily. Now, there are ways to, figure out whether audio, video, images have been messed with. But one good way, one good best practice is to get the actual thing that captured the audio or video, specifically a cell phone, right? If it's cell phone pictures or videos or text messages, you get the actual thing. You don't get a copy that is transferred to a desktop or a laptop and then sent over to you by email or other software. No, you don't do that. You get the actual thing and you rip it straight from that. But that didn't happen in this case. In fact, they got all of Johnny's phone, but they didn't get Amber's phone. I wonder why.
Out. Done differently, handled differently by a judge instead of a jury.
Some evidence is admissible in a UK court that is not admissible in a US court.
Boom. So this is where Savannah, I gave her, this is where I woke up. Because see, most people, they do not know what the fuck they're talking about. But she knew what she was talking about here. I'm like, this girl's got it. And honestly, look, I'm not always a fan of the dominant lady lawyers, but in this case, Savannah can in this case, I'm a fan. I'll let it happen because she's going in on Amber, and Amber deserves every second of it. Yorick said, sent job interview to email summary is job application from Yorick, since I have a different email name. It's from Proton Mail. Please respond after the show when you have time. I will. I'm going to be recording after the show, so it's going to take me a couple hours, but I will get back to you today. So yeah, we'll talk. All right.
Do you think that maybe he just had better lawyers?
I will say his lawyers did certainly a better job of just.
I paused this very strategically. See, she just said it. She said it right here. The lawyers did a better job. Lawyers did a better job. That's all you need to know. Johnny's lawyers did a better job. Stop there, full stop, because they actually did. I'm going to rewind this and let you guys get the context. But I just went, this is where that question should have stopped, or the answer should have stopped.
That maybe he just had better lawyers.
I will say his lawyers did certainly a better job of distracting the jury from the real issues.
For some people,
So that is projection, by the way. Once again, she is projecting that her goal, the goal of Elaine and the goal of Rottenborn, was to distract them from the law, distract them from the facts. That's what their goal was. Now, they fucked up. They didn't do it, but that was indeed their goal. They were trying to do that. They failed, but, that was their goal. So let's be clear. Very, very clear here. All right.
they just were frankly disgusted by the whole thing and don't have much sympathy for either one of you. Can you understand that?
Absolutely. I would not blame the average person for looking at this and how it's been covered and not think.
See, it's not about how it was covered was in your favor, Amber, was making you the victim. That's how it was initially covered by the mainstream media, which, by the way, still gets more eyeballs than social media, unfortunately, but not for long. But I would say that at least at first, the mainstream media was getting more eyeballs on this. Eventually, social media overtook it, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. But initially, I think Amber had an edge here.
That it is Hollywood brats at their worst. But what people don't understand is it's actually so much bigger than that. This is not only about our First Amendment right to speak.
So I'm so glad she fucking interrupted this. This is why, I'm a fan of Savannah here, because she's calling it out, and this is an unfortunate
Here's the thing
pause.
about
Okay, that's a better pause, right? She's actually got her eyes open. So she actually understands the First Amendment, and she knows this is bullshit. So she calls it out right there. It's okay, yeah, we have a First Amendment right, but just like your Second Amendment right or any of your other rights, it's not an unabridged right. It's not an all-out right. Just like you can't just walk up and shoot somebody on the street for no reason and say, oh, I have a Second Amendment right. No, you really don't. There's exceptions. And yes, speech is one of the most protected rights, but it's always been curbed. It's always been curbed. You don't have the ability to threaten immediate direct violence. That's always been protected. That's always been something that's prohibited. Threatening immediate direct violence has always been something that's prohibited. So is defamation, harming one's reputation. That is always with lies, by the way. So lying and harming someone's reputation has always been illegal. Just saying.
The First Amendment. The First Amendment protects free speech. It doesn't protect lies that amount to defamation. And that was the issue in the case.
Yes, exactly. You can't go into the free speech does not protect you if you go into a crowded theater and you scream fire. We get the concept of free speech from the Greeks. My understanding of what that means is not just the freedom to speak. It's the freedom to speak truth to power.
The truth is the word.
Yes.
And that was the issue.
And that's all I spoke. And I spoke it to power, and I paid the price.
Well, I don't know what where did this come from? Guys in the chat, if you know, let me know. But where the fuck did this come from? Where the fuck did it come from? That, speaking truth to power. I know that's some crazy, some crazy woke shit, but I'm not even sure where they got that from originally. I'm not really sure, but it's still a ridiculous concept to try to say, oh, well, this is Greeks and this is something that comes from the Greeks and therefore it's allowed. No. First of all, you're misunderstanding what was going on with the Greeks. Second of all, the Greeks also had sex with underage boys and thought that was totally normal. So perhaps we shouldn't be emulating everything from the Greeks. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there, right? But let's focus on the actual laws. What she's saying isn't the law. And that's the key here. What she's saying is just out of her ass. It has nothing to do with the law whatsoever.
in the closing arguments.
Oh, okay. So apparently, I believe it's York, that truth to power is a Marxist take on Plato. Okay. Thank you. Guys, we are at 4,249 people in the chat. Please smash that like button. It really helps us get up there in the algorithm, guys. Right now, we've got literally 928 likes. 75 more, we get to 1,000. All I'm asking is for 1,000. That's all. I'm not even asking for a lot. Storm Dancer says she means speaking to JD and his power, men and their power. See, that's what I thought. I think it was some woke shit like that. Is something about men's power.
The Depp lawyer called your testimony the performance of a lifetime and said you were acting. What do you say to that?
Says the lawyer for the man who convinced the world he had scissors for fingers.
Okay. This one makes me laugh the most. I know everybody else has covered it, but seriously, you played a fish. You played an Atlantean. Get the fuck out of here. It's a movie. Have you never watched a movie? Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? His role in a movie does not lessen or greaten his credibility. Really, honestly, the fact that she would try to use that against him, this is the career-ending moment. This is it right here. She's literally said that anybody who plays a fantastical role or any non-totally realistic role is not credible as a human being, is a liar. It's hilarious. It's freaking hilarious. So literally, like what the whole cast of Lord of the Rings, it's like, says the lawyer for someone who plays an elf. Says the lawyer for someone who plays the Balrog. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. And by the way, this is what ends your career right here. This is what does it.
I'm the performer. I had listened to weeks of testimony insinuating that, or saying quite directly that, I'm a terrible actress.
Listen to the insinuation. No, Amber. No, you are a terrible actress. You had no talent. You were just literally there as the romantic hot girl interest. That was it. You were there as the female interest. Your only value was your looks, which faded quickly, and now you're salty about it, so you have to make up fake grape claims. We get it, Amber. We get it. Good morning, Mr. Sunshine. Scissors for fingers, good to mix a Greek salad. Thank you there. Thank you. Very, very, very hilarious stuff.
So I'm a bit confused how I could be both.
The Depp team argued that you were the abuser, that you instigated physical violence. Did you?
I never had to instigate it. I responded.
She never instigated it. She responded. Fuck you, Amber. You're ridiculous. Never instigated it. You literally heard her in the video. Sorry, and in the tapes, as well as in some of the videos, but in the audio tapes, you heard her provoking Johnny. You heard her challenging Johnny. See, she doesn't understand, or rather, she won't admit that she said those things to try to get Johnny to hit her. Remember the suck my dick tape? That is the type of thing that one says to somebody to get them to hit them.
Responded to it. When you're living in violence and it becomes...
See, right there, here's the thing. Amber Heard is committing more defamation because she's saying right here that she's living in violence. She's living in violence. So she's already saying that Johnny Depp was committing more violence to her. See what? She's continuing to dig herself in. Now, I don't think Johnny's going to take action on it, but it's just funny how she just doubles down and keeps digging it deeper when really she should just let it go. But I mean, shit, she's setting herself up for another defamation case. Now, I don't think Johnny would bring it at this point because, I mean, it would be open and shut. But I don't think Johnny will bring it. I think Johnny wants to move on, but a truly litigious person could.
It becomes normal, as I testified to. You have to adapt.
You say you were responding, but there is evidence. There are tapes in which you acknowledge hitting. There are tapes in which you say, I started the fight.
I know much has been made of these audio tapes. They were first leaked online after being edited. What you would hear in those clips are not evidence of what was happening. It was evidence of a negotiation of how to talk about that with your abuser.
But I am looking at a transcript that says, he says, you start physical fights, and you say, I did start a physical fight. I can't promise you I won't get physical again. I mean, this is in black and white. I understand context. But you're testifying and you're telling me today, I never started a physical fight. And here you are on tape saying you did.
As I testified on the stand about this, is that when your life is at risk, not only will you take the blame for things that you shouldn't take the blame for, but when you're in an abusive dynamic, psychologically, emotionally, and physically.
Once again, right here, she's doing it again. She's committing more defamation. She's literally coming out and saying that Johnny Depp was physically, emotionally abusive, something she has no proof for, and a jury has just said that was bullshit. So now she wants to double down and try to do it again. Really crazy. Really, I mean, to me, this is the career-ending part, is that she's willing, after a decision, to come out and say that. See, here's the thing. Savannah's take on this is fucking smart, because Savannah knows that if she sounds like she's siding with Amber too much here, their network could be liable. If they agree to what Amber says, this crazy shit that she's saying, this defamation coming from her lips right now, if they agreed with this, NBC might be in trouble. So they need to go hard on her to protect themselves legally. And I say this as corporate counsel. I mean, I've been the general counsel for companies, and this is the exact take we would take as NBC. If I was their attorney, I would say, we need to distance ourselves from this. So yes, do the interview because it'll get tons of views. Like 5 million internet lawyers will review this. But also make sure you put some arm's length between us and Amber.
You don't have the resources that, say, you or I do, with the luxury of saying, hey, this is black and white, because it's anything but when you're living in it.
But then there are other times, there's another tape where you're taunting him and saying, oh, tell the world, Johnny Depp, I, a man, am a victim of domestic violence.
20-second clips or the transcripts of them.
Which was true, which was factual. You still said it. It doesn't matter whether it's a 20-second clip or not. There's no context that makes that better. There's no context that makes that statement better. She can say it was sarcastic or a joke. That doesn't make the statement better. It doesn't make the statement better. So yeah, no, I got it.
Are not representative of even the 2 hours or the 3 hours that those clips are excerpt from.
Could your side have just put the whole 3 hours in then?
Yes, they could
I'm
have.
not a lawyer. As I testify,
You're not a lawyer, but I can tell you right now, yes, they could have done that. That's completely doable. They did not do that. They chose not to do that. They did not play all of the audio. They could have played all the audio or more of the audio, but they chose not to. Let's be very clear about what they did here. They didn't do this. They didn't do this because they couldn't. They did it because they didn't want to include that particular video or audio.
I was talking in those recordings as a person, an extreme amount of emotional, psychological, and physical distress.
He
And
says
it
he
doesn't-
never hit you.
He can't-
Never. Is
yeah.
that a lie?
Yes, it is.
What about the witnesses who said they have seen you instigate physical violence?
I've seen firsthand how people will file rank and support the person they depend on.
Did they all come in and lie in court?
I am not here to call any of these witnesses any names. I'm here to.
But they did. But literally, you are doing that. See, here's the thing. Amber is literally doing that. She is saying the witnesses are liars. She's saying that. Whether she likes it or not, whether she wants it to be characterized that way or not, she's calling them liars. So, I mean, it doesn't matter whether she agrees with it or she doesn't agree with it or whatnot. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that that's what she's doing. That's what she's doing here. So let's just be clear about that.
Just kind of talk about it from what it felt like for me as a person who sat there.
What it felt like. See, here's the point. Here's where we get, guys. People don't talk about this. This is the whole feels over reels. This is the whole feelings over facts. We don't do that shit on my channel. This is facts over feelings. And you know what? I know there's a lot of people that have been watching my channel, and even people that have agreed with me on Amber, on Depp versus Heard and the outcome. They get hurt because on this channel, we are always 100% and will always be facts over feelings. And look, I present those facts sometimes in a very no nonsense, no bullshit, very harsh way. It doesn't matter. Facts are sometimes harsh. They don't give a fuck about your feelings. They don't. Your lived experience does not matter worth a damn. Tail says, saying she's saying this from severe distress sounds like stuff her therapist probably told her. Yes. Or her attorneys. Her attorneys might be trying to say that. Or maybe David Shane. Don't forget, David, suck my dick because I took you to a nice dinner, Shane. And for those that don't remember, David Shane is under investigation right now. People are looking into David Shane because, and this is her PR manager, David Shane, because allegedly, he was taking girls on dates off the dating app Raya, and he would take them to some nice place in LA. And when they wouldn't fuck him on, I think, the second date or the first date or whatever, after he took him to dinner, he got pissed off. He thought that every girl should fuck him because he bought him a steak or a lobster. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's the type of entitlement attitude that people like Amber have and people around Amber have, because she is so much like all the people around her. That's the same entitlement attitude that she has. She's entitled to be liked. She's entitled to be loved. Just because she's a blonde woman, let's just agree with her. Let's go against Johnny and let's side with her. Thank you for the super sticker, by the way. Appreciate that. Always appreciate it when it's just out there. So yeah, appreciate that. Let's continue.
When I asked his lawyers, why do you think you won? And the answer I got was, because she never took responsibility for anything she did in the marriage.
She took zero responsibility.
And say horrible, regrettable things throughout.
Like what? Like what? See, here's the thing. She can't name one of them. She can't name one of them. She says, oh, I did horrible things, but she just can't name them. So, I mean, if you can't name what you did, you can't admit what you did, there's a problem. There's a problem. Okay, let's continue.
Out my relationship, I behaved in horrible, almost unrecognizable to myself ways. There's so much, I have so much regret. I freely and openly and voluntarily talked about what I did. I talked about the horrible language. I talked about being pushed to the extent where I didn't even know the difference between, right and wrong. I will always continue to feel like I was a part of this, like I was the other half of this relationship, because I was. And it was ugly and could be very beautiful. It was very, very toxic.
See, here's the problem is that she liked that shit. She liked that shit. She liked that type of relationship. She enjoyed that type of relationship. She got off on that type of relationship. So, I mean, this is the thing. Because she enjoyed this, because she enjoyed this, it's a problem. It's a problem. She made this a problem because she enjoyed this type of relationship. She made it worse to suit what she wanted from a relationship, her toxic idea of a relationship. And remember that key word, projection. Projection. This is all projection about what she wants from a relationship, the fucked up type of relationship that she prefers.
We were awful to each other. You know, I made
It wasn't we. You were awful, Amber. You were awful.
a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes. But I've always told the truth.
Oh man, I mean, that's a great place to stop on. That's a great place to stop on. Holy shit. Holy shit. I mean, guys, what lies? I mean, what deception? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Really, honestly. Like I've never seen someone get on and lie that horribly. And lie in the face of a jury decision. Because see, here's the thing. What she should be doing, what they should tell her to do is lie still. Don't do anything. Let the algorithm move on. Let social media move on to the next thing. Right now, there are so many other things they're trying to push in the world. They're trying to scare people about monkeypox. They're trying to scare people about all sorts of crazy shit in the world. And the algorithm will move on. But when you give it a chance to come back, it will come back. And this is what she's done. All of us, think about all of us law tubers. Most of us were ready to move on. I see, people already trying to cover the Manson case. There's people that are covering, the 1-6 stuff. There's people that are covering all sorts of different topics. I even saw Crazy Joe covering Ray Epps. That shit is from like 2 years ago. But Joe's decided to try to dig that up. Whatever. Welcome to the club, Joe. But in this case, everyone's ready to move on. But now you've given us the opportunity to come back to it. Well, thank you. We are not going to turn this down. This is the grift that keeps on giving. Giving. The grift that keeps on giving. Oh man, I gotta get some sleep too. I'm like slightly jet lagged. So I went to bed yesterday at I think 9 p.m., which is not bad, but it's not my normal 2 a.m. So I'm still I'm not 100% recovered here. Britt says, and what's up, Britt? Good to see you. 90% of Amber Heard's problems come from Amber Heard. I'm not saying crap didn't happen to her, but crap happens to us all. We deal with it and we move on. She, however, can never move on because in her head, she is always the victim. That is 100% facts. 100% facts. Amber Scissorhands says, lying under oath is super easy, barely an inconvenience. Ryan Hurd. Very good. Very good. Sweetheart says, this testimony that never ends. And yes, it goes on and on, my friends. Yes, it never stops. It never stops. And the lies don't stop. I mean, I don't think she knows where the lies start and where the lies stop. I don't think she knows. I think she realizes it. Let me catch some of these other super chats that came through, but weren't the 20. So I didn't want to stop it there. So we had one from, let me get this from Kim, which says right here, to be fair, Amber Heard had 6 fans out there joining you from Hawaii. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate that. I guess that means that Amber Heard had as many fans as CNN Plus. Let's see. Rewatch Amber Heard on stage. Imagine Camille yelling cut instead of objection. It's great. After this trash, I hope JD makes her pay the damages. Yeah, I hope so too. I don't think it will. I don't think she'll end up paying, but that's just my 2.5 cents. I'll get into that in a second. Catherine says, Amber, go home, take care of your baby, find peace. You did this to yourself. Totally agree. Storm Dancer says, all truth passes through 3 stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently oppressed. Third, it is accepted as self-evident. Schopenhauer. Thank you for that. Appreciate that as well. Some Schopenhauer isms. Storm Dancer again said she meant speaking to JD into his power. Appreciate that. Mephisto says, love your work. Hope we can reschedule the podcast with not tropical storm. Smash the like button, people. Yes, Mephisto. Yes, we can reschedule. Literally, I will try to do that later this month. I've got some things to do this month that are keeping me a little bit busy. But we will definitely do that because I love collaborations, and I'm going to be doing much more, especially like pop culture collaborations. I've really enjoyed those, so I want to do more of them. So I do plan on doing more of those. So look forward to more of those. We've got Martin Mark, which said, if she had said Jack Sparrow instead of Edward Scissorhands, it would have been less funny. That's so true. That's so true. If she had said, people, this is the guy who convinced people he was a pirate. Well, have you been to Gasparilla in Florida? There's a lot of people that I'm convinced are actual pirates. Susie says she is an embarrassment. That's very true. MM says, if Judge Escalante orders sua sponte an injunction against Amber for this interview, that would be fantastic. Korean fried chicken stream when? Well, it could have been earlier today because I literally had fried chicken. This is Hangul for fried chicken. So that is Hangul for fried chicken because I fucking love fried chicken. Yeah, and Mephisto, don't worry. I'm going to get back to you and I will message you, brother. A little caught up today, but I've got you, bro. We have DMs, so we're going to talk. We're good. But I've got you for sure. Moving on, I think I had a couple more super chats and we can just roll here. So the next was from the Squid, which says she seems to be exactly like my older brother, who is abusive my entire life and never takes responsibility, always acts like the victim. Yes, I know a lot of people have had experiences with this, which is the issue. By the way, Sandor Clegane, so I have like a burnt half face? Really? I mean, I'm more like Gregor in terms of the height than Sandor, but okay, I'll take that. I will check out, is the verdict final? Yes, the verdict is final, but the appeal is going on, and she already filed some paperwork for the appeal. So just understand the appeal is coming. Nettie says, please cover the Dan Markle case and the recent arrest of Charles Adelson. This is a real victim and so are his children. I will look into it, Nettie. I will look into it. And what I'm trying to do by setting up different channels and by covering stuff on my locals is get to more news. So even if it's a smaller story, I'll try to get to it on one of my platforms. So I can promise you that, but I will look into it. I will tell you that right now. John Beck said, did delivery guys fried chicken on your board? No, I did that myself. I have horrible handwriting, but I did it. My Hangul is not great, but I try it. Kim said, would love it if she had testified that she didn't know right from wrong and see Camille sink her teeth into that. Oh, that would have been amazing. That would have been perfect. But you know what she could have done? She could have said, I have a condition where I can't tell right from wrong. I'm a narcissist. I'm a histrionic. I have a condition. Lean on that. If she did that, she would have come off as more sympathetic. Bella Sella says, welcome back and hello from Abu Dhabi. Hello to my fellow folks in the Emirates. It is good to see you. I've actually got a lot of Emirati followers, which is awesome. Really love that. Okay, so let's move on to something that is totally haram. After I get this one from Mexican Iron Man, who says, what is your viewpoint on the disclaimer made at the interview started related to Savannah Guthrie, stating her husband did some consulting work? I'm guessing this is for NBC's legal protection related to Depp. Yes. So you have to disclose what your connections are. And I think people are starting to be a little bit more careful about potential lawsuits. So I think this was a CYA by NBC to get out a particular conflict that may have existed. So it's possible that there was one of the parties for which there was some sort of consulting or independent contractor work, temporary work. I don't think it's a permanent job, but look, it's Hollywood and it's fucking Johnny Depp. The 6 degrees to Kevin Bacon, it's probably 2 or 3 degrees to Johnny Depp because he's been in so many big productions. So I think that's what it was. Iron Man, that's my 2 cents. I'm Veg said, Andrew, how have you been these days? Cheers, man. Hey, I'm doing good. I'm glad to be back in Korea. I'm glad to be back on the Asia pill. Because I believe you should all take your red pills daily, but you should all take your Asia pills. It's really lovely here. Lena, what's up? Good to see you from Abu Dhabi as well. So good to see my folks in the Emirates giving me the shout outs. I really appreciate that. And I know Lena, shot me some lines about potentially different visas for the Emirates, which is awesome, which is really awesome. Okay, so let's talk about something super haram here. Let's talk about something super haram. Actually, hold on. Max sent me this, which says, greetings from Melbourne. Have you had spicy tabuki yet, mate? Of course, bro. I've been drunk in Korea. That's one of the first things I had was spicy tabuki. I eat drunk food all the time. I'm out there, eating whatever at night. And that's available in Korea. It's a late night food. It's fucking amazing. And I love spicy food. I'm a spicy food connoisseur. Pamela says, can the judge prohibit Amber from speaking or insinuate Johnny or the case because she's lying and defaming? Yes, she could issue an injunction. It's very true. She could also issue an injunction against NBC for airing the interview. But, we'll see. I don't think she will because I think it hurts Amber. Outlets, the New York Post called this career killing. I will say that myself. I think it's career ending. All right. So let's look at this here because this is what I wanted to look at. So OnlyFans, much talk has been had about what's going on with OnlyFans and Amber Heard. Now, I want to make this clear. I've got a theory, and bear with me, guys. So the next 10 minutes, give me the next 10 minutes to give you my theory. It's like Charlie Kelly from It's Always Sunny. This is the crazy board theory that I'm going to pin up here about Amber Heard and what she's going to do. And I don't think it's OnlyFans. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me, because this is a theory nobody else has brought you. You're not going to hear this on Nick Rekieta. You're not going to hear this on Emily D. Baker. You're not going to hear this. You're definitely not going to hear this on Legal Bites. You're not going to hear this on Joe Neerman. Nobody else is going to touch this. Only on Legal Mindset are you going to hear a theory like this. So strap in, grab your panties, and let's go. All right. OnlyFans says it's not seeing a slowdown in subscribers despite rising inflation. So here's the thing. Here's the thing about OnlyFans. And by the way, for those that don't know, maybe you're a little older, maybe you don't know, maybe you're a boomer, I'll explain it. OnlyFans is a platform in which a lot of young ladies out there have been posting their naughty pictures. And your girl next door, the girl who may be even going to church with you, maybe going to synagogue, maybe going to, God forbid, mosque. They're posting their spicy pictures on OnlyFans, and they're making money off of OnlyFans because there's no barrier to entry. You just literally post nudes, set up a subscription amount, and that's pretty much it. Now, there's ways to make it run more efficiently and not. There's people that manage your channel to make it run very efficiently, but you could do it yourself theoretically, and a lot of girls do it themselves. They do it themselves. So OnlyFans boomed during the pandemic. It boomed. It absolutely blew up. They had a huge bounce in revenue. But in April, Netflix had its first quarterly drop in paid users. So remember, OnlyFans almost banned porn. They ended up backing down off of that. Now, OnlyFans has seen a drop in subscriber numbers. They have. Now they're growing, but the subscribers are indeed slowing down. How do we know that? Because while the executives say, oh, there's nothing to see here, there is no war in Ba Sing Se. If you switch over here, you see that the models say they're working harder than ever. They're feeling the economic push. And this is coming, of course, Ali Ray, one of the top content creators, and also other content creators are saying they're seeing drop-offs. She's saying, my traffic has been down a lot. I'm working harder than I ever have. Oh, I'm sure you are, Ali. I'm sure you are working. And by the way, this is not her post for the hospital. This is her post as the naughty nurse. right? All these girls are working hard. So here we go. They're saying that it's going to weed out small creators that can't withstand the race. And there's a dip in big spenders. There's a dip in the whale tippers. There's more freeloaders on the pages. You're going to get people sharing information. So here's my theory on what's going to happen here with all these folks. And Amber, who may start to have to look for money. People have said she's going to go to OnlyFans, but I don't think because of this, she's going to OnlyFans. I'm thinking about one night in Paris. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. You guys are thinking, oh, Andrew, are you talking about the One Night in Paris by Juliette Sabanet, the Amazon best-selling author? Or perhaps you're talking about the Alpha Billionaire series by Sandy Lynn, One Night in Paris. Oh, no, ladies and gentlemen. I am not talking about your Alpha Chad billionaires. By the way, that if you wanted to be a female romance writer, I feel like all you have to do is write a Chad rich, a just jacked rich guy of your choice. It can be whatever, right? I mean, you like Italians, write them as Italian. You like, you're into BTS, right? RIP BTS. They just declared they're stopping touring. I expect all of South Korea to explode in the next week. It's been good to know all of you. But you like Koreans, you can make him your Korean oppa, right? You like South Americans, you can make him Colombian. You can make him Brazilian, whatever your flavor is. You want Nordic, you got it. Boom, done. But you just make him rich, and then you make him simp for the woman at a certain point. Just for some magical reason, he's a fucking pushover, gives her everything she wants, does everything for her, caters to her, but he's rich, he's jacked. That's the novel. You sell it, you make millions of dollars. I should have never been a lawyer. But no, I'm not actually talking about this One Night in Paris. I'm talking about a different night in Paris. A night in Paris that was brought to you by Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton, who said she never made $1 off the sex tape. Oh, no. Their co-star, Rick Salomon, said that he received on his taxes, so what he reported on the first year alone, he reported, let me zoom in here, guys. Let me zoom in. $10 million. He made $10 million. It just so turns out that there's a claim out there that might cost Amber $10 million. So what's the solution, ladies and gentlemen? The solution is one night in Atlantis. You get a Jason Momoa knockoff, a cosplayer, maybe this dude, right? This is a guy, I've actually seen him in Orlando cosplaying. He's a pretty good cosplayer. You get a cosplayer. They play Jason Momoa. That's it. You get that, you get Amber Heard. Boom, bam, bim. Maybe you throw in an Amber turd just for the money. It makes $10 million off the shock value, and Amber Heard pays off her bills. That is it. There it is, guys. Legal Mindset has brought you my one night in Atlantis theory about how she pays off her bills. I don't think it's OnlyFans anymore, guys. I think OnlyFans is out the window. I think the revenue isn't there. But one night in Atlantis, we can make it happen, guys. Let's make it happen. Magic Medic says, you don't look like Sandor just because of the chicken. Well, I do like my chicken. I will say that. I will never turn down some chicken. Bella Stella says, super haram, I'm deceased. Yes, this is ultra, mega, hyper haram. I apologize to all those out there that I may have just got excommunicated or otherwise thrown out. So anyways, good. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you guys enjoyed my my theories. Yeah, under the sea indeed. She would have needed to get a lot of money from that NBC interview, by the way. She would have needed to get a lot of money from that NBC. I'm sure they had to pay her. I'm sure she didn't do that for free. Sweethearts, there is no one night in Korea out there. I have not made the video yet. Yeah, that's my premium OnlyFans. My premium OnlyFans. Uh, but guys, listen, that's my theory. You guys are free to use it. You're free to clip it. You're free to take that out there and do what you want with it, as long as you say that Legal Mindset brought you the theory. And if you like that, guys, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you smash that like button. I'm back here every night, same time, same place. I'll be back here tomorrow covering more. That being said, let me catch these last super chats. Speaking of Baseng Say, Amber Heard's cartoon hero is Azula. Oh man. Oh, that would totally make sense. That would 100% make sense if her hero was Azula. Last super chat here. Oh, I had one that says greeting. Oh, no, sorry. I think I got everything, actually. I think I got everything there. Okay, guys. Yeah, got everything. So that being said, guys, I'm going to check out here. We're at 1 minute, 15 seconds. I'm going to have a longer show tomorrow. I'm going to have more stuff on, but I'm going to check out here tomorrow. I'm going to be making something right after this for my exclusive legal mindset.locals.com, my locals community. So I'm going to make and release right now a locals exclusive video. It's going to be on locals, just for locals. I'm going to talk about a lot of different random stuff on there, probably go about 15 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes or so on that, on a lot of different topics. It's going to be a lightning round, but I hope you guys are going to enjoy that. I'm also making some content for my new channel. So guys, look out for all those things. Muffins Church says, hey pal, sent you a video on Twitter. I will get that later. I haven't had a chance to go through all my Twitter posts and kind of clip them out. But that being said, guys, take care, take it easy, and I will catch you later. Nettie, I will read your email.